everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking water kefir. Have you always thought that water kefir is very difficult? It's not really that difficult. I'm going to talk you through it today. It's just a matter of understanding your sugar to water ratio and sugar to grain ratio. It's actually very easy. I've been making water kefir for about 2 years now, and I really enjoy it because it's still a carbonated fizzy drink. Fruits that make it extra fizzy will be like Granules, or some of you know it as passion fruit, pineapple. Think of pineapple beer or something like that, and peaches. All those kind of, I think, tropical fruits make it extra fizzy. Let me talk you through the equipment that I use, and it's very straightforward. I'm not using any fancy equipment. I'm using what I have. So firstly, you'll need obviously your water containers, so your water bottles where you'll be doing your first bulk ferment in. So your water and your sugar, where you'll be adding your water kefir. Then for the second fermentation, you'll be needing your flip-top bottles. For this size, I always use 2 flip-top bottles. So flip-top bottles to put your drink in for the second fermentation. Then you'll need a container, so just so we can pour everything over and strain it. You'll need a sift. Always use a nylon sieve. That way you won't damage your grains. Grains are very fragile, so you don't want to damage them by using a stainless steel one. Nylon is always your safest, so just use a nylon sieve. And then I'm using a small nylon sieve just to remove all the sediment at the top if there's anything, because sometimes I leave it out too long. Let me show you. And I take this off. Oh, it's actually not too bad today. You can see there's a little bit of sediment at the top, and that's mostly your kefir grains that die. Because as you know, kefir grains multiply. And a lot of people, when they multiply, they sell it or they give it away because there's just too much for them to use. I don't have that problem. Mine multiplies in a way that it actually just stays where it is. There's always some grains that like disintegrate or die, if you want to call it that. So mine stays at that level. So which tells me it does multiply, but not so much that I can give away or sell. And the reason mine doesn't multiply as much is because I have sourdough in the same kitchen. When you have sourdough and water kefir grains, it's not good for the kefir grains. You'll always see in my kitchen when I record my videos, at the back, I always keep my water kefir grains, and then my sourdough always stands on this side. But you'll see today I've swapped it around just because I want to show you this. My sourdough is right in that corner, and I'm working with my kefir grains here. So you should keep your kefir grains and your sourdough apart about 2 meters, just to be safe. Keep them out of reach of each other, because sometimes the yeast in your sourdough can go into your water kefir. Let me talk you through the process of changing your water kefir. So first of all, before we change that, let's get our fresh water ready in our bottle. In this bottle, I have 2 liters of water. So the ratio normally goes, if you use 900 mils of water, you'll add a 1/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of grains. Your grains and your sugar are always equal. So I have more grains. I have about a 3/4 cup. So I'm using 2 liters of water, a 3/4 cup sugar, and then 3/4 cup of water kefir grains. And the funnel always makes it easier to not make a mess. So I use that and then pour in my 3/4 cup of sugar into my 2 liters of water. But keep in mind, when you use water, don't use normal tap water. There's too much chemicals and what do they call it? Chlorine in the water. It's not good for your water kefir. So if you have well water, go ahead and use that. It's fantastic. Mineral water, or I use reverse osmosis water, which means there's no minerals in there, and it needs minerals. But your sugar does have minerals. And then I also add to this some blackstrap molasses. So I'll just take my wooden spoon. So they normally say about a teaspoon of molasses, but I just dip my wooden spoon in there, and then I stir that into my water and my sugar. I normally stir it until it's almost dissolved. If it's not fully dissolved, it's not a problem because your water kefir grains actually eat all the sugar. So I think we're there. Let's just leave it like that. And I'm just going to get some fruit ready for my flip-top bottles and my second ferment. So it's according to personal preference as well. You can decide how much you want to put in there. There's no hard and fast rule for you on how much you need to put in there. You can do whatever you fancy. I'm just going to cut it small enough so that I can fit into my flip-top bottles when I put it in and also when I pour out my water kefir. I don't want it blocking the mouth of the bottle. I think that's enough. Let's just get them into the bottles. And the apple is also delicious. It's almost like an apple cider, but without the alcohol. And you'll need a funnel to pour your water kefir into your flip-top bottles. So the next step is to get our grains out of the existing first fermentation so that we can give the water kefir some fresh sugar water. And by this time, they'll be hungry and they'll be needing that in order to keep them alive. And you want to keep your water kefir grains strong as well. So let's just get that out there. So this is all our lovely water kefir that we'll be consuming. And I'm doing apple flavor this week. And you'll see, I'll show you a close-up now, but there's some there's some micro granules in here as well. So it's small granules that developed so it's micro granules that still needs to grow. So have a look there. See, there's some baby granules. Don't know if you can see it there. So let's just get this over there. There's a lot of kefir grains still in my bottle. So what I'll do next is just take my new sugar water and I'll pour it in my bottle just so I can rinse it out. I don't want to lose any of this. They're precious. Oh, and the probiotic benefits of this is fantastic. Just remember, when you start drinking water kefir, start with small glasses at first, and then you can work your way up. Your tummy needs to get used to it. Okay, so I'm just going to, that's the new sugar water, so I'm going to pour it back in there. Just wanted to catch all the grains. So we can cover this. And your flip-top bottles can now stand in your corner or wherever you're putting it for about 2 to 3 days. In summer, I've found in summer, it's normally 2 to 3 days. Then they nice and fizzy and they can go to the fridge. In winter, it takes a bit longer. It sometimes takes up to 4 days. So, I mean, you can keep an eye on it. When it's nice and fizzy, you know it's ready, it can go to the fridge. So put that aside. And then we'll get our kefir grains. Look at our lovely kefir grains. So I'm going to take this now and scoop it over into the fresh sugar water. So, and for the ratios, just remember, as I said, on 900 mils of water, it's a quarter cup of kefir grains and a quarter cup of sugar. And remember to add some molasses if you're using water without any minerals, like a reverse osmosis water or something like that. There we go. Let's just wipe this down, cover it. You don't want to cover it tightly with a lid. Your water kefir grains need air. Let's just wipe our bottle down because otherwise it's going to be sticky from the sugar water. And then I'll put a cheesecloth or anything. I've got different cloths that I use. Cheesecloth, that's what I just removed from the previous bottle. So now I've got a piece of white, like wool denim or something. Anything that can actually get air through. So we'll just put that over with some elastic. And there we go. It can go in the corner for about 3 days. Check it. If you pick it up and put it in the air, you can actually see air bubbles going up. If you don't see that anymore, it's ready. You can move it to the second fermentation. Now let me show you. These are bottles that I've had standing at the back for a few days now. And it's still not, it's not summer in South Africa. So it's still chilly. So these have been standing for about 3 or 4 days. So let me just show you what it does, what it's supposed to be doing. There we go. Oh. And close it before it gets to the top. Otherwise, your kitchen will be full of water kefir. Now, this you have to do. Okay, this one is a bit less fizzy. But you have to burp your bottles every day. Oh, look at this one. Oh, let's close that. You have to burp your bottles every day. Otherwise, you might have an explosion. You don't want that in your kitchen. So these two, as you can see, they're very fizzy. They're ready. I'm going to put them in the fridge. And I'll keep this one out for another day or two, together with a new batch that I've got. It was lovely sharing this water kefir process with you. If there's anything that was unclear or that you don't understand, please leave a comment below and I'll try and answer that for you. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to help where I can. And as always, it was lovely sharing this with you. Please remember to comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please, I would love for you to subscribe and share more of these lovely ideas and recipes and tips with you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.